Um, Hello, everyone. This is David from the Wirritjin Peggera project. I'm just here tonight interviewing Nick Leidig, one of the committee members for this project. And Nick has had quite a few interesting experiences with Karno. And one of the main things we'll be talking about tonight is the children's camp that Karno used to host. So I suppose the first question I have for you, Nick, is like, where were these camps hosted?
Yeah, so when I was, it goes back about 10, 13 years ago when I was working at Kangaroo Youth Performing Arts, and we ran a boys program, and Uncle Karno took a great interest in supporting young Aboriginal boys at risk. Unfortunately, there was the whole Gang of 49 media furor at the time, sensationalising a whole range of issues going on with young Aboriginal males at the time. And Uncle Karno was a fantastic mentor, and I was. There were others as well. I probably won't mention tonight, but they were offering young Aboriginal boys ways out of their situation instead of resorting to crime or, going back into the juvenile detention system or resorting to any sort of violence. So Uncle Karno, through culture and through Wurundjeri culture, invited myself as sort of the boys program officer at the time, the mentors with the program, and a group of young Aboriginal boys to come over to Kangaroo Island. It is a while ago. So he invited us over to the Wurundjeri place on Kangaroo Island near Murray Lagoon, and he with Auntie Christine and another Wurundjeri elder who has passed away. Maybe I won't mention his name. And they hosted us for 3 or 4 nights. And I think the group was around, probably the youngest was 10, oldest was about 16 or 17. Uncle Karno taught them culture, taught them Wurundjeri culture, and the program actually was called Binnanendi, which was a Ghana name for Journey into Manhood. And we couldn't have hoped for a better Aboriginal cultural leader and mentor than Uncle Karno to help guide these young Aboriginal males through their journey into manhood, and also guiding them and teaching them a Wurundjeri culture. So that was roughly what it was about, and there is video footage. I'm not sure if you're going to show any of that.
Well, I might show some of that during the course of the interview. Yeah, so I might edit that in later.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's some of the footage is like got the archery. I saw a team building exercise where they were getting a hay bale off a big hay bale off the back of a cart. I don't know if that's the same one that you were at, or
there were different activities, and like you said, team building events. For the young boys and that. So I wasn't at all of them, but I was at some of them. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think you're in the footage that I managed to get hold of.
No.
It's
actually, and that a lot of that video footage too, I just mentioned, was filmed by a young Aboriginal male who was interested in film at the time, and he basically took all the video footage. We got a another guy to edit it and put it all together. But yeah, it was really fantastic. This young Aboriginal male said, "Look, I want to take on that responsibility," and so that was Clayton as well. So Clayton, if you're out there, did a great job.
Thanks, Clayton. Yeah, so yep. What was your fondest memory of the camp?
I think when you're dealing with young Aboriginal boys who don't have many positive role models in their life, and they come up to you and during the camp and afterwards at the camp, and they speak about the positive experiences they had in their interactions with Uncle Karno. Probably the fondest memory I have is actually when we rocked up to Kangaroo Island. And as everyone knows who's been over, you go over on the ferry. And as we docked, and the ferry sort of drops their door or gate or whatever you want to call it, and the cars all, and the trucks come off the ferry, and then as they all came off, we all started to walk down out of the ferry after all the vehicles were off, and there is Uncle Karno painted up in his traditional paint and traditional clothing, and I thought I was looking at a statue. And you could see the tourists were like looking at this guy, like they were astounded and taking photos and everything. And he just stood there with such pride and welcoming, there to welcome all of us onto Kangaroo Island, And even though he wasn't at all disrespectful to the tourists, he only focused on us. And it just felt like he was there to make us feel welcome, and for all the young males, for them to feel like Uncle Karno is here to look after you and welcome you to Kangaroo Island. And it was I think all of us had our, our jaws hit the ground when we saw him, and it wasn't expected at all. He went and did this off his own back, and that was my fondest memory. It was wow. Now I'll tell you what, we hear about welcome to countries and how important they are, but that was one incredible welcome to country. I wish I took a photo, and maybe if only Christine allowed me to, I would have included it in the video. But no one expected it. Not a welcome like that. Yeah, so that's my fondest memory. I'll go through it, and I still know the kids in it, and some of them I'm still in regular contact with. But there was interesting. I think there was 2 of those kids ended up in the AFL, the Australian Football League. Could even be 3. And these were kids who everyone thought were just going to end up in juvenile detention. So, yeah, it was amazing. And there's digital stories there too. But have a look through it, David, and I'll go through it myself as well and see if I can get permission from those kids to use any of that.